time for some maths today. So we're carrying on with our place value unit. Again, revisiting some past learning to see how we get on. Now today we're doing something which I know that a lot of year 3 did find quite tricky. You might be okay now, but when we did this, we did struggle. So don't panic, just try your best, okay? Okay, so we're doing number lines. So number lines up to 1,000. So your first question is to complete this number line. So have a look first. It starts at 200. We know where 500, 800 are, and we go up to 1,000. So have a think, what are each of these increments? Now an increment is each of these lines. So what are each of these increments going to be worth? And can you label each of those increments on that number line? So pause here and have a go at that one. Okay, question 2. So what numbers are the arrows pointing to? Have a look at A. So we start at 0, we've got 500, and we've got 1,000. So have a think again. So count up the increments. How many do you have? If I have to divide this number into that amount of increments, what do you think they'll be? Now both of these are on one of the lines, so you know it's going to be a number that ends in a 0. It's not going to have any 1s because they're on the lines. Okay, now this one, let's have a look. So again, we start at 0. We know where 500 is. We know where 1,000 is. If we have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 increments there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it's the same amount of increments as the previous one. So the scale is going to be the same. Each jump will be worth the same amount. But let's look. This is halfway between these two increments. If I'm halfway between 100 and the next 100, what do you think it might be? Okay, so pause the video here, have a go at those two. You don't have to draw the number line out if you don't want to, that might help you, but you could just write down your answer if you don't need to do that. Okay, it's up to you. If you would like to draw the number line, it'll help you, then do it. It'll be a great way to work out this question, but you don't have to. Okay, let's go on to question C. So again, we've got another number line. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 increments. So think about what's my scale going to go up in, what's each jump going to be worth. Can you write down those numbers that we are missing? Okay, number 3. So write these numbers on the number line. Now, if we have a look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now think what each of these lines, what each increment is going to be worth. So you might even want to draw this number line and label those different lines, little increments, these. You want to label those first and then think, right, now that I've labelled those, I can comfortably and confidently put these where they should go. So you might want to do a little bit of working out before you actually put those 4 numbers onto your number line. Now think carefully, because again, we've got 2 numbers that are just in the hundreds. We've got 2 that have got some 10s as well. So you need to be careful where you put these 2 numbers in particular. Okay, have a go at that one. So here is a number line from 0 to 1,000. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So again, nice easy scales on this one. So label 500 and 750 on the number line. Again, 500 should be quite straightforward. 750, have a little think about it. Have a go at that one. Question number 5. Complete the number lines. So let's have a look. Now this scale is much different compared to what we have been looking at. So we're starting at 200 and ending at 300. So we're not going up in hundreds anymore like we have been on the last few. So let's have a look. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we still have 10 increments, but they're not worth 100. So have a look at what numbers you've already been given. What do you think is going to go in between these 2 numbers? And what's going to fill the rest of these in? I'll go with that first one. Once you've done that one, on to B. So now, trickier because we don't know what we're starting at. So we'll have to look here and see. Now we've got 215 I've got 217. So I know that my scale can't be very big this time because we haven't gone up. We've only gone up by 2 to get from this one to this one. So what will be in between there? Have a go at that one now. And finally on question 5, 5C. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 increments this time, going up to 1,000. Our first one is 200. So I think we've got less increments, so we need to work out it's not going to be going up in hundreds. We can see what it might be going up in. Have a look at that last one on this page. Okay, question 6. Label 470 on the number line. Now, you've got a blank number line, so this one you really have to think about. Now, you've got 400 and 500. Now, 470, well, it's got 7 tens. Now, 7 tens means that it's closer to 500 than it is to 400. So if it were me, I would think, right, what is halfway between 400 and 500? And I'd make a little mark there and write down that number so I knew what that one was. Then I'd think, right, whereabouts was 470 compared to the middle of my number line? So once you've worked out the middle of it, you can then figure out where 470 roughly will go. Now, it's not going to be exact because obviously it's a little bit trickier. We don't have those increments on there, so you might struggle, but again, have a good go. As long as you're roughly in the right area, you've had a good go. So, B, label 280 on the number line. So again, you've got 200 and 400. Now, the first number I'd be trying to place would be 300, because I would want to know where the other 100 is between these. So I know it'll be exactly halfway between them. So if I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, now I can do half of 10. So work out half of 10, count those increments, and then wherever you get to, put 300. When you've got 300 on there, then you can work out where 280 needs to go. Question 7. This number line goes up in hundreds. Is Alex correct, and how do you know? So let's have a look how many increments we've got. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Whew. So she's got 20 increments on this one. So she's going from 0 to 1,000. She has 20 increments. Think about what you've done already. What do you think she's done? Do you think she's done it correctly or incorrectly? So firstly, is she correct or incorrect? What's she done wrong? And what should she have done? So what is the answer to this question? So the how do you know is what is the right answer? So can you show me what the increments should be? Okay, number 8. Draw an arrow to 785 on each number line. So you've got 0 to 1,000, you've got 700 to 800, and 750 to 800. So this one you just have to really be careful and think about, well, what would be each of these increments? What number would go on each of these lines? And then where would 785 fit? Either on those lines or between those lines. So you have to be really careful here when you're counting and check that each jump goes up the same amount. So if you decide to go up in 10s or 20s or whatever, make sure that they are all going up in the same amount so that you can place your number on your number line. Okay. Right then. Estimate where these numbers go on the number line. So we've got 0 to 1,000 again. Now again, it says talk to a partner here. So you might want to talk to someone at home. So if you've got an adult around, or brother or sister, or someone else in the household who can help you with this, you might want to have a chat and just explain or figure out how you're going to work this out with them. So we've got 300, 750, 30, and 995. Now, again, I would use the same method that I talked about earlier. I'd mark on halfway. Now, I know halfway between 0 and 1,000 would be 500. So about here would be 500. So then I'd think, right, where would 300 be in relation to my 500? Where would 750 be? Now 30, think about it, it's a really, really small number compared to what scale we're looking at. and 995 is really close to this number, so think carefully about where you're going to place that one as well. Might be worth drawing that one out on a piece of paper if you've got one. Remember, use a ruler if you're drawing a number line, if you've got one, or use something straight that you can use as a ruler to draw the straight lines. It'll make it a lot easier if you're not doing a wiggly number line. Okay, hopefully you've had a go at those questions. You've paused after each one if you've needed to. And now you're ready to have a look at our answers. Again, please don't jump forward if you haven't finished working it out, if you haven't done the questions. Please don't jump forward to the answers just yet. Work them out first, and then we can have a go. Okay, let's have a look. So, number 1, so your answers are 300, 400, 600, 700, 900. And number 2, you can see the numbers in the boxes there, so check if you've got those right. So we can see we've got 500 there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 500. So each of these going up in hundreds. Again, this is going up in hundreds, and this is going up in hundreds. So these increments are quite straightforward, nice easy ones to work out. Again, this one, 100, 200, 300, 400. If I know that then I'm just working out I'm going up in hundreds. So if this is about halfway, then it's going to be about 150. And this one, again, is really close to that 1,000. So 990, or there and thereabouts if you're close to that number. You might have 980, that's fine. As long as you've got something close to 1,000. Something that's more than 970 really, because it's definitely not in the middle. So it's close to 970 or more. Okay, number 4. So again, if we work out halfway between 0 and 1,000, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that I'm going up in jumps of 100 and 500 will be there. And we can see there 210, 220. So we're going up in jumps of 10 this time. And this one we're going up in ones, and this one we're going up in 200s instead. So we know that one because we've gone from 0 to 200. So by knowing that jump there, the value of that jump, we can work out the rest by just adding 200 on. Which, as we notice, 2, 4, 6, 8. Effectively, you've got a 10. Just your 2 times table. Okay, so here, so again, like we talked about before, so I've got 400 and I've got 500. So about here would be 450. So I know that I've got to then split this little bit between 460, 470, 80, and 90. So I've got to take 4 increments in that space. So if I've got 50 there, 60, 70, 80, 90, 500. Okay, and then our last one again. So like I said, I would work out where 300 would go. So if I've got, well, I can't be going in 10 because it'd be 210, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Oh, well, that'd be 300. So it's not going up in tens. So could it be going up in 20s maybe? So 220, 240, 260, 280, 300. Yeah, so I know that it's going up in jumps of 20 this time, therefore 280 is there. Okay, Alex is incorrect. Her number line is actually going up in 50s. We've already done lots of number lines where we were going up in jumps of 100, and we know that if we've got a number line from 0 to 1,000, we've got 10 increments on there. She had 20 increments, therefore it's half of that 100, so it's 50. So if the number line was going up in hundreds, the last number would be 2,000. So on that number line she had drawn, if she was doing hundreds, it'd be 2,000. It'd be twice the amount. Okay, so having a look at this last one. So if we work it out again, we knew we had 10 increments. So I've got 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. Now halfway, like 750. So it's somewhere between 750 and 800. So that's where that one will go. This one, we're only going up in jumps of 10. So 710, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So it'll be straight in the middle between 780 and 790. And this one, have a look. So let's have a look. Are we going up in tens? So 760, 770, 780, 790. Oh, it's definitely not going up in tens. We're going up in fives then. So 755, 760, 765, 785. Goodness me. 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, and 85. Now you see, that's why it's always good to check what you're doing, because you can get distracted and then not do some correct counting, and that was where we were going wrong when we did this, when we did it in school. So on our last one, you can see roughly where these should be going. So 995 should be really close to 1,000, 30 should be really close to that 0, 300 should be less than halfway, and 750 should be, again, less than halfway, so that's our middle there. Okay, there we go. So we'll be doing another lesson on number lines this week, and we'll be carrying on our place value units. I hope you've had a go at those. Again, remember, do as much working out as you can when you're doing these. It will just help you to get your right answers. If you are struggling with this, don't panic. You might want to look at some of the work from some of the other classes to help you a little bit if you are stuck or struggling with our work. Okay, I'll see you all later.